Hi, you must not be familiar. The RF Wally account that I frequently refer to that I run, it, this is it. Yeah. A lot of this is on me because I gave like no follow up updates aside from like those three individual TikToks that I made in a singular day regarding that situation. But here's the situation as it stands as of me leaving Dodo server. Unless the situation has changed over the course of this past week and a half or so since then, here are the boundaries as they stand from what I know about. Fan works and fan art and audios in regards to the Rainbow Factory AU to Welcome Home are still allowed so long as they're not romantic, flirty, suggestive, or NSFW in any way. Again, unless the situation has changed, audios are still allowed. Besides the point, I can't sleep and I'm about to make it everybody else's problem. One of the three videos that I uploaded in rapid fire succession that day was me announcing that I had made the decision to leave Dodozoi's server because I did not see it as being mentally, emotionally, or in any way beneficial to me as a creator on this platform. The updates and the various scares were not doing me any good. And what I thought was going to be a piping hot take, in terms of me stating the fact that I am done making audios when I'm done making audios, actually turned out to be incredibly frigid. Go back and look at the comment section to those videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. The hot take that I was alluding to in that particular TikTok where I stated that was that I am done making audios when I'm done making audios, meaning whether or not Dodo wants me to stop making audios. The situation going on with Dodo and where she stands as a creator in terms of the Rainbow Factory AU can be very confusing, especially since some of the information does seem to conflict a little bit. There are some people who have told me that Dodo absolutely hates the Rainbow Factory AU now and wants absolutely nothing to do with it. And then there are people who are saying that, she's still holding on to it and still very much values the AU as a whole. Here's what I do know though. Dodo is not leaving the Welcome Home fandom, at least last I heard. And in terms of her upcoming pilot, Behind the Rainbows, that is the main thing that she is focused on, which she views as something completely separate from the Rainbow Factory AU to Welcome Home. She does not consider that to be a part of Welcome Home in any way, shape, or form. Dodo is also fine with people using her art for like edits and stuff, so long as she is credited. And so long as it follows the boundaries that I mentioned before, fan works surrounding Welcome Home's Rainbow Factory AU are still allowed. That includes art, fan fiction, audios, all that. Something that Dodo has made abundantly clear, though, is that she is not comfortable with people claiming the Rainbow Factory AU for themselves, and she's not comfortable with people finishing the story that she had originally planned on crafting for the AU. She has stated, though, that it is okay if fans decide to create an AU or scenarios surrounding the My Little Pony creepypasta, The Rainbow Factory. And that's where the problem comes in. Because earlier this week, I finally got around to listening to a narration of the Rainbow Factory creepypasta from the My Little Pony fandom. And do you want to know how much information I got right in terms of the lore without having any sort of context prior whatsoever? A lot. It was a lot, and I was flabbergasted. If you go back to this account and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, those first two videos that I uploaded when I was violently ill with COVID are all me. I created those having never listened to the Rainbow Factory creepypasta to the My Little Pony fandom, nor did I have any real prior knowledge of the Rainbow Factory AU to Welcome Home that Dodozoi had created. To all the people who have told me in the comment section that my version of RF is the closest to the canonical version, y'all were not playing around. I had to like take a moment and just be like, is this real life right now? The only stuff I didn't come up with is stuff that is common knowledge in the fandom, the lore that Dodozoi created. This means all background information surrounding the character of one Walden Darling, his relationship with his father, Julie and Ophelia, as well as the Bad Ending series, because the Bad Ending series is based on the bad ending that Dodozoi created. Aside from that, though, I put big old disclaimers on a lot of my TikToks where I do lore drops that state any lore that is shared in those TikToks is not to be considered canon unless it is otherwise confirmed by Dodozoi, because it's stuff that I just made up that just seemed to make sense. Back to the subject matter at hand, though. I consider myself to be going through my villain arc at the moment because I have no intention on stopping my Rainbow Factory audios. After scaring my fans by basically announcing doomsday to them in regards to the AU, I had a fan reach out to me who actually sprained their hand because my announcements caused them to punch a wall just that hard, and I still feel really, really bad about that. And that whole situation made me realize that there are a lot of fans that are relying on my audios to get them through right now. This is what is keeping them together. This is what is keeping their spirits up. And I am not about to be the one to take that away from them. It's also keeping me together as well. You saw how I was spiraling in that video. This is how I make it through my week outside of work, is me being allowed to let my imagination run wild and creating Rainbow Factory audios. Eventually, someday, this fixation will pass. But today is not that day. I agree to follow Dodo's boundaries in terms of not making any content that is romantic, flirty, suggestive, or NSFW towards the listener, as I have managed to do thus far. But in terms of creating audios in general, I am done when I say I'm done. Period. End of story. And this very much makes me look like the bad guy. And that's where I stand on the matter. So yeah.